Here we go. Wednesday, September 5th. 12 game slate. Last night, not a great night for people with the last name Giolito. Couldn't get it done. Makes me sad. After hating him all year, I thought this is going to be the time where I'm hopping on the Giolito bandwagon. And they were like, nope, I'm going to kick your ass right off of this. Jake, how did your Tuesday night shake out?
Too much Giolito. Just that was it. So I was on him yesterday morning. I heard Adam talk about him. I heard Laffy talk about him. And I was even more sold. So he buried me pretty quick. And that was that.
Yeah, that's the best way to say it. That was that. Unbelievable. So we got 12 games today. I actually like the construction of this slate. I'm a little sick of the back-to-back 15 gamers, and I really just want a little bit less teams. There are a couple offenses that look good today, so I think that I'm hoping that I can rebound. I'm trying to stay confident. I don't want to put too much bad juju out in the air, but I need a confidence booster. I need like the DFS equivalent of a rub and tug right now.
Today's the day.
Today is the day. Let's do it. Laser focus. Let's talk this shit out. Cardinals and Nats. Cardinals 4.3 run implied total. Nats 4.7. It's a 55% chance to win for the Nats. Miles Michaelis going for the Cardinals. I must have missed when it stopped being Michaelis yesterday until like 6 o'clock at night, but neither here nor there. Tanner Roark going for Washington. This is the first spot where we're going to need to have a pretty extended conversation. Tanner Roark, 23% expected ownership on DraftKings. Relatively chalk play for the day. I'm not entirely sure I agree with this. I have significantly less Roark. Are you looking to be on Roark here? This seems like a bad spot.
I was just kind of going to be off the Cardinals bats, but looking at what we have him projected for ownership, maybe I overthought that one. Like, I just didn't expect people to be on Roark.
Right.
4.4 run total against him. He's not someone that people are in love with playing. And how I put it last night was that he's just kind of good enough where he's annoying to stack against most of the time. Just kind of goes 5 or 6 innings and doesn't allow a ton of power. Really good at getting ground balls, especially to righties. He's just like a thoroughly average pitcher in my opinion. And I was just going to kind of cross off St. Louis bats and Roark, but I don't know. Are you high on St. Louis bats or Roark?
I have some Cardinals bats on DK, and it's just because that top part of the lineup is so easy to stack. Dual eligibility, dual eligibility, dual eligibility. Nothing crazy from a price perspective. Carpenter, lefty, righty. So like they're really easy to get to. I'd much rather have Cardinals bats than Roark though. It's not like Roark's 6,000. He's 7,800.
Right. He's like too closely priced to some of these really awesome arms. Like we'll talk about in a little bit that like I'll just find the extra salary somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'll sacrifice a hitter. I think there is some decent value here. So
Roark's at 23%. Jose Quintana, not that I love the matchup or anything, but he's at 3%. That's just. Are they that appreciably different today at $100 separating the two that you would want 23% of Roark and only 3% of Quintana? I just don't. I can't imagine wanting that much Roark. Have you looked at the weather at all for this game? Is it like crazy pitching weather or something?
No, it's 88.
Yeah, I don't.
88 and humid.
This is a very safe fade in my opinion.
I just don't see Roark killing me. He's another one of those guys, kind of low upside. Like, has he hit 25 even close lately?
I'm going to look that up right now. I was on the FanDuel tab. That wasn't going to be the best reference point, but
even if he hits 23 on DK like he did 2 starts ago, you're still probably going to be okay. He's just not a high upside pitcher, and the Cardinals do have a lot of power. It's not like it's Baltimore or something. I would understand it if it was Baltimore or whatever, the Mets or someone like that. But this is at least a solid hitting team.
Like this entire season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's had 6 games over 20. He's had 1 slate breaker, a 41-pointer at Milwaukee when he was at 6,600. Otherwise, it's just, mid to high 20s, which is fine, but like 8, 8, 8, 8, 2, -1, 5, -1. Like, what? I don't see any scenario where I want to be with the field at 23% on Tanner Roark, and he's going to be like the reason that I lose if I don't have him.
Yeah.
Like anybody can catch lightning in a bottle. It's anybody can put up 30. But I don't expect Roark to do that more than once a year.
Exactly. I mean, he's had his spike start already. I don't see him doing that again. I mean, even you look at so he's striking out a little under 18% of righties, and some of these guys in this lineup, like Molina and Martinez and Munoz, all strike out below average. So you got O'Neill and DeJong if he's in there, but then, or not even Tyler O'Neill. That's another strikeout downgrade with Ozuna back. So it's just not that great of a strikeout matchup anyway.
Yeah, it's really, really weird to me. So I'm going to happily fade that. I hope that ownership stays where it is.
Oh, yeah.
And I do like having the Cardinals then to be on the opposite side of Roark.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm on the Cardinals too now. Just like as a leverage play, if someone's going to be 23% owned that I don't agree with, I'm going to have some Jose Martinez and some Yachty and definitely Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, there's talent there.
Yeah, top 4.
It's not like they're playing the White Sox. This isn't just some like shit lineup.
Right. We're on the same page there.
All right, cool. I don't have any Michaelis. I'm assuming that's not a spot you're looking for either.
Nope. Same thing as yesterday. We thought he was going to go.
Yeah.
I really like Harper and Soto, but Michaelis not someone that I love targeting with full stacks. So if something changes by the time I get to lock, I mean, I'll let you guys know if the Nats are on my top stacks or whatever. But there aren't a ton of spots for hitting.
No.
But I don't know that I really want to attack Michaelis with a 5-man.
Now I'll have a little bit. Basically with the field on both sites. So like Rendon or like Harper and Soto, obviously I have no issues going there. I'll have some Turner and Rendon. Like Turner is solid against righties, so he's 3,400 as a shortstop on FanDuel. They're pretty appealing as a FanDuel stack. Eaton 3,500, Turner 34, Harper 45, Rendon 4,000, Soto 38. There's no reason that like 3 of those guys can't go yard today.
Yeah, agreed.
I think I have anything else interesting. Who's your favorite play in this entire game?
Bryce Harper.
Okay, that isn't named Bryce Harper.
I
think he wins by default, right?
Juan Soto.
Okay, that's fair. No problem with either of those 2 answers.
What about you?
Throwing out Harper, obviously. Probably Marcelo Ozuna.
Okay. I like that. Cheat.
Yeah.
Good leverage. Yeah.
Nice value play.
Yeah.
To the Reds we go. Reds and Pirates. Reds 3.6 run implied total. Pirates 4.9. 64% chance to win for the Pirates. Hope you had some Joe Musgrove yesterday. Anyway, Homer Bailey going for Cincinnati. Jameson Taillon going for Pittsburgh. I had quite a bit of Pittsburgh yesterday. I'll have a little bit of Taillon here. Kind of surprising to me that he's not getting any ownership, but that $9,900 price tag is probably not the best. I like having some Taillon. What do you think?
Yeah, I like just getting exposure to these super talented arms that are under 10K.
Yeah.
Taillon's looked really good. He's missing bats. He's getting the results. And it looks like an overprice, but I think if he were 9K, a bunch more people would be on him. And that's not that big of a difference, I don't think.
Yeah.
I prefer Kopech and Glasnow ahead of him, but if he's going to go unowned, then I'm definitely getting to some Taillon. And like on the other side, I don't really prefer bats against Tyon. So
No.
when that's the case, I have to look at least playing the pitcher, and I think he is a logical play for not getting up to Severino.
Yeah, I mean, 22% K rate for the season. That'll work for me. Not getting hit hard at all. Really solid xFIP. I see no problems with having some Tyon. Like, we're projecting him at 1%. I have 9. I love that sort of leverage.
Yeah. Definitely right there with you.
Yeah, and I know we're not going to Homer Bailey, so at least I'm confident we're not going to Homer Bailey.
God, I don't think so. He is 4,800 and stretched out, so there's that. He is also Homer Bailey, so there's that. God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I kind of was flip flopping on the night shift, but he's gonna be one that I decide once I start making crunches. Like if I need 8% of Homer Bailey to make things work the way I want him to, then I'm probably gonna leave it. But he's not a guy I'm like gonna be like, yeah, 60% Homer Bailey like I had Giolito last night. But he has been missing bats his last few starts, which is kind of encouraging. So there are some positives to Bailey outside of his $4,800 price tag. I don't want to be known as the Bailey truther.
I just don't see the need to pay all the way down today. There's nobody that's slate breaking for me in terms of price. We'll get to all of that at some point in time, but
yeah, I mean, like if I can make Kopech Glasnow lineups or something, or whatever, Tyon Glasnow or Tyon Kopech, if I could get 2 really talented arms and still fit in these stacks, which I think I'm going to be able to do for the most part, unless I'm going to Coors, then yeah, there won't be a need for Bailey. But
boom,
he's not going to be X'd out, at least not yet, of my player pool.
I just hope I don't see him. What do you think about Pirates bats? Tons of 6s popping up for me here. 6% expected ownership on FanDuel, 6% expected ownership on DK. I have 6% on both sites. 66666. Jameson Tyon, the devil. I like the Pirates. They were really solid yesterday. I wish that I could have had them in the right sort of combination, but I'll happily get a bunch of these lefties against Homer Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, just as I was talking about not Xing out Bailey, it could absolutely be a dong show. You just never know with him. So Dickerson and Polanco really stick out to me as solid plays, as does Francisco Cervelli.
Yep.
I'm not crazy about Adam Frazier for 4,700. I know he's had a good week or whatever, but there is value outside of him. So it's not like it's going to be super tough to fit in a Pittsburgh stack if you go down to the 5 through 7 spots.
No, totally agree. Frazier having that dual eligibility on DK is incredibly helpful. Otherwise, if he was just an outfielder, I don't get the sense that people will be playing him all that much. Not that I think anybody's playing him all that much to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. There'll be a secondary stack for me. No, but I'm not disregarding them, but when you play against Homer Bailey, I think you need to at least be in play in a small amount.
For sure. And I mean, I was like the Bailey play, I was also assuming the Pirates are going to be higher owned. But
yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Rays and Jays. Rays 4.4 run implied total. Blue Jays 4.0. It's a 55% chance to win for the Rays. Tyler Glasnow going for Tampa. Aaron Sanchez going for Toronto. You're going to talk about Glasnow and having a bunch of him. I didn't get him a lot, and I sort of want to dig into why, because I don't really know. So we're projecting twice as much ownership to Aaron Sanchez as we are to Glasnow. What do you think about that take?
I mean, that's just different pricing tiers.
Sure.
I will probably have some Sanchez, but he hasn't looked very good to me. So it's not. I think Aaron Sanchez is a good play. He's just 5,200 and makes a ton work. And there's decent bats, well, in Coors, but I don't know that Sanchez is super necessary if Bailey's not going to be necessary. Glasnow, just a crazy good talent. So like him and Kopech and Tyon, they're all in this tier where they may not have the greatest matchups. Kopech, you could argue, has a really great matchup, but Glasnow does get a bunch of righties here against Toronto, and then he's striking out 32% of righties. He's been really efficient especially that last start. I think he threw 79 pitches and went 7 innings in Cleveland with 6 strikeouts. That's really, really tough to do. So he's on. I mean, he can just go and shut down a team, and definitely this Toronto team, especially with its bottom of the lineup, that is underwhelming to say the least, even though they got your boy Danny Jansen in there.
I feel like you weren't even confident what his name was while you said that.
No, I always say like Danny Jensen, or
I was just gonna say like he was gonna get called some sort of sliver of his real name.
Yeah, the JA really messes me up. But anyways,
we should just call him like Donald Jensen for the rest of the season.
Yeah, DJ Donald Johnston.
I'm gonna really enjoy this gimmick. It's gonna fuck with people so bad.
You're gonna be like, who's Donald Johnson?
If I were high right now, I might not be able to get back on this show.
Yeah, Glasnow, if he's throwing that slider and it's moving, I mean, he could have 30 plus points here.
Yeah,
like, I don't even think that's anywhere close to out of the question. And then on FanDuel, Glasnow is like 6,700. That's absurd.
Yeah.
He hasn't.
Can I ask you one quick question? And it's about Glasnow. How many innings? Like, what would you say? What would you set his expected innings at for today?
6.
Okay. I think that's part of my first issue. I have him in at 5.2. Obviously, he's proven that he can go longer from this last Cleveland start, the start against Boston as well. I think I'm probably underrepresenting him there, and that's why I'm not getting as much of him. So continue on Glasnow, but I think that was my major issue.
No, I'm pretty much done. I mean, he's just a really talented pitcher, and he hasn't been the old Glasnow. He hasn't been blowing up with walks. The strikeouts have been there pretty much every start, and he's gone up to 98 pitches. Yeah, he's just really, really good.
Yeah. This is something I've been looking at a little bit lately to think about, how much deeper or how deep people can go into a game. For an average, the league average of pitches per plate appearance is 3.9. This isn't a big difference. Toronto at 3.88. So seeing someone like the Dodgers at 4.05, significantly above the league average, something you can think about if a pitcher's not going to go as deep. The more pitches a team sees, the less you're going to be able to go really deep in the game. Another thing that I like to look at, 3-1 count percentage. So how often do teams get to a 3-1 count per plate appearance? League average is 8.7%. Toronto coming under the league average. So they're not stretching into deep counts as well. So I think that is another sign that Glasnow might be able to go a bit deeper today.
Yeah. I mean, I think the strikeouts are almost certainly going to be there, but it's just whether or not he's letting up hard contact and runs.
Yeah, I should have had way more on my first crunch, to the point where I might actually just re-crunch while we're sitting here and talking about the next team, just so that I can get a better idea of it, because I think that I should have much more Glasnow than I did on my first draft.
Remember the last time we talked into someone? So long ago, I know, but last night.
I feel significantly different here. I would have assumed I had a bunch of Glasnow today, whereas I wouldn't have woke up and thought I had a bunch of Giolito.
Right.
Because I think, I really like Glasnow. I think I just had him underrepresented for innings. I'm going to sneeze. Talk about...
I think that was from Baseball Reference, T. McBee. Is that right?
Yeah, T. McBee. That was on Baseball Reference. I just Googled... You can see me type it in, obviously, but I Googled pitches per plate appearance Baseball Reference. I don't know how to quickly get to that. It seems to be in a cumulative batting stats chart, but this is all the team level hitting. It's just a really good chart to look at if you want to get some high level data. And apparently my sneeze went away, so that's perfect. Any bats in this game, Rays or Jays? I don't really see too much of an appeal outside of maybe a Rays stack if Sanchez stays over double digits.
Yeah, I mean, I like Yeah, I like the Rays bats here. I like Choi and CJ Cron. Problem is they play the same position, so it's kind of tough to get to both of them. Brandon Lau, is it Lau for 3,200 dual position eligibility?
Is it not low?
I thought I heard Adam say Lau. Anyways,
let's find out.
Kiermaier's in there. I'd like Bowers to be hitting farther up. And I think Sanchez will become somewhat chalky as the day goes on. Okay. So I'm just learning new stuff from all the guys that are coming over.
Yeah.
Names, how to play Giolito. Well, I mean,
I wish I could unlearn that one.
They really drove that one home for me. So
look, I agreed with everything that we walked through.
Oh yeah. But those are the kind of, I mean, so it didn't work out, right? But those are the kind of plays you have to make. You have to be on the guy before everyone's on the guy in order to give yourself a chance that, okay, maybe he is turning it around. And if you're on him at 12%, like you're going to have a big night, or you're going to give yourself a chance to have a big night where 2 starts later, like if Giolito kept cruising, he was going to be 45% if he was still 7K or 6,300 in that same spot.
Yeah. I want to see if Brooks Baseball have this updated yet. Do you know when they normally update by any chance?
I don't. It's probably once every few days.
Yeah, they don't have it up there. I wanted to see if his changeup was still moving as significantly yesterday, but we might not have enough data since he wasn't in there all that long.
Yeah, T. McBee, if Bowers hits higher in the lineup, I don't mind him as a cheap one base, one off. Yeah.
Same.
I agree.
Yeah, he's kind of in no man's land if he's hitting 8th.
8th, yeah. I wonder how Aaron Sanchez has the highest xFIP against lefties of anyone on the slate. I know he's been kind of up and down this year. And I get why people want to play him for 5,200 on this slate. But that's why I kind of don't mind just like mixing it around with Bailey and even maybe Alcantara if you need to do that, or your guy Senzatella. Because I think there's a pretty good chance Sanchez sees 15-20% ownership here.
I hope so. I really hope so. G-Man Choi, 11% expected ownership on DK.
Yeah, the GOAT.
Probably got to fade that. I think we're done on Rays and Phillies, right? Or Rays and Jays.
Yeah.
Phillies and Marlins. Phillies, 4.2 run implied total. Marlins, 3.3. 61% chance to win for the Phils. Nick Pivetta going for Philadelphia. Sandy Alcantara going for Miami. Arrieta, good game yesterday. I'm glad I had a bunch of them. Didn't matter financially, but glad I had a bunch of them. Although I wasn't watching, I knew that he was having a really good start. And I had a lineup that had a decent outlook before I went to bed in the King of the Diamond qualifier. And I had Arrieta, so I was like, oh, all right, I'll go check this out. Because he came back out for what I believe was the 7th, but it could have been the 8th. And I open up game day, I'm just laying in bed. Goes to a 3-2 count against Real Muto. And all of a sudden, DraftKings pops down from the top of my phone that Real Muto homered. And then I saw him homer in the game day app. I was like, I've seen one at-bat in this entire game to follow this. And it was Arrieta giving up a fucking dong. I was like, I gotta shut my phone off. Anyway, what do you think of Pivetta?
Yeah, he's another one of these talented arms. I think he's underpriced here. I liked him against the Cubs. He had a pretty solid outing. He's, I think, a really solid pitcher, and he's going to get a bunch of righties, strikes out righties at a 28% clip. 3rd lowest xFIP of any pitcher against righties on the slate. And I mean, what am I missing here? He's 8,200, and is he projected for a lot of ownership? 26?
Yes, 26%. Yeah. Like, this is chalk that I agree with.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a really good pitcher, and he's cheap against the Marlins in a good park. So,
right. Yeah,
you don't really need a ton of analysis here, I don't think. Like, is there a guy you're really scared of? You get Real Muto righty, you get Anderson righty. there's strikeout potential. I know he's the one thing you can say about Pivetta here is that he's just so much better at home, but these are pretty favorable conditions and a really good matchup.
Yeah, I have nothing. Just like I don't need to get off of that Pivetta ownership. I like it. I don't see anybody to naturally go to that I don't already have. So for me, yeah, I'm going to happily have Pivetta. I don't have to get different everywhere.
Yep.
Phillies bats. Number 4 stack for me on FanDuel. Number 8 on DK, but I'm double the field on both sites. Are you with me on Phillies bats by any chance?
Reese and Carlos Santana I like a lot. 1, 2. I mean, I don't hate the full stack just because if they get Alcantara out, then they get to face this Marlins bullpen, who has like a bottom 5 xFIP since July 1st over the last 30 days. Like they just do not have a good bullpen. And yeah, I mean, I'm always looking to stack against bullpens this time of year, so I don't hate the Philly stack.
Yeah, Santana, Hoskins, Herrera, Ramos, the 4 guys I like the most. They're really cheap on FanDuel. Most expensive guy on FanDuel, besides Hoskins, at 3,600, which is still not crazy. Everybody else is like 3,100 or lower. So I think that's a really nice, efficient stack to get to, and I'll have significantly more than the field.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And that's just, it's a play against Alcantara. I don't love the park or anything, but it's a price one.
Just from looking at Alcantara, he's been really good at kind of going pretty deep. Like he's going 5, 6, sometimes 7 innings, and he'll give up a couple runs. It's almost like the Andrew Kashner thing, but I think he's a little bit better than Kashner. Goes 100 pitches, so he's another one that if you don't feel comfortable with Bailey, at least you get a guy that's at home in a favorable park with not a terrible run total against him, 4.3. That you can deal with that, and that has a lot to do with the bullpen too. So not the biggest strikeout guy, but stretched out and 5,700 on a slate where you might need to dig into the below 6K range.
Yeah, he's not going to be a guy I get to, but I hope his ownership goes up.
What's this King of the Diamond ticket? Is that like I can't remember what they call it for hockey.
I don't know. I definitely don't know what they call it for hockey. I don't know. Some like generic midseason qualifier, top 100 qualifier tickets. I've been getting it in every night, and I've been not winning it every fucking night.
First place awards, 1 of 100 tickets into the King of the Diamond. Check out. All right, let's see.
I've been maxing the qualifier every night.
The $3?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hasn't gotten me anywhere. Thought I had it the first night I got in it. I finished 2nd or 3rd.
You only get 1 ticket?
1 ticket for the tournament, yeah.
Nice. Oh, qualify up to 3 times between August 24th and September 26th.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right then. I might do it.
Swear to God, if you get that ticket before I do, I'm going to lose my mind. That's not true. I'd be very happy for you.
I might play the $10. We'll see.
There you go. Yeah, there's quite a few left, I believe.
$60 to max out the 10. Get some differentiation. Roll 6 different stacks out there.
$60 to max the 3 as well.
Oh yeah. Maybe I'll do all of them.
There you go. Maybe that's what I should have been doing the entire time. Fuck that mini max. I'm never gonna win that shit.
No, the mini max is great. It's very exploitable.
Yeah, it's exploiting me on a day-to-day basis.
Well, good thing is that so if you guys are watching this and you're MME players, they have. I was telling Josh before we got on, they have mini maxes for play the late slate for those qualifiers. Well, wait, why is that, Tom? They have a mini max for the early only football slate on Sunday and the afternoon only. So get in those if you're interested in the mini max. 50 cents each. Often overlaying. Ooh. Is that right? Tom's like king of the late slate. Just crushes those.
Yeah. I don't.
I'm definitely playing the late slates for hockey. I'm trying to get a ton of volume here. But he's probably just going to beat me in all those anyways. Like 2 awesome logos up top.
All right, moving on. Mets and Dodgers. Mets, 3.1 run implied total. Dodgers, 4.2. It's a 63% chance to win for the Dodgers. Zach Wheeler going for New York. Hyun-Jin Ryu going for LA. Wheeler, 1% expected ownership. I don't have any. 20% expected ownership for Ryu. I've got 27. Big fan of Ryu here. What do you think about him?
Yeah, I'm not going to fault you for playing Ryu. I mean, he's been really good when he's been healthy. I don't think people realize because he was out for so long, but he's kind of come back and just picked up where he's left off. Now, the one problem I have with Ryu that I don't have with these other guys is that he's only gone over 90 pitches one time this year. Like 86, 86. They're just not testing it with him. I don't know if it's because they think he's injury prone or what.
I saw
it. But like I don't have that worry with Kopech or Glasnow or Wheeler for that matter on the other side. So I think Ryu is a pretty safe play here. The Mets have been awful against lefties all year. But I don't think he's someone I'm just jamming in because I have to limit my exposure somewhere in this range. And he's probably going to be one of the guys that gets squeezed out.
Yeah, I don't know if I love him as much if he's going to be at 20%, but I really just don't have anybody else to give that. I can see Glasnow getting it after I recrunch now that I'm thinking about it. Did I do that recrunch? We'll know pretty quickly here. 19% Glasnow. Yes, I did. Might as well just add this in now and keep talking about it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's only Wednesday. I talked about so much baseball yesterday that I feel like it's Friday easily.
Dude, I'm so excited for tomorrow for football. Just like I wasn't that excited, but
I'm getting there.
Getting ready to like play this stupid showdown slate and all this garbage. Oh, by the way, we do have an article on the showdown slate.
We do. EMAC
wrote it. I'll paste the link in here.
Yeah, there you go.
I was reading it last night, so it's good stuff. It's a fun read. EMAC, his quirks and such. So
EMAC is going to have an article out on all of the primetime games each week. So there'll be another one coming back for the double Monday nighter.
And this is I think it's a free article, correct?
I have no idea.
Not, you guys will find out pretty quickly.
Probably not, but I don't know. Tom, if you're in the chat, let us know if it should or shouldn't be. I don't remember what I marked it as. I think I put it behind the paywall. So subscribe to Amazon.com. Yeah, Amazon.com. Awesemo.com. I'm dead. My brain is dead, man.
Like Amazon needs more advertising.
Sorry, Tom. I'm just.
I took Lev Bell. So I'm seeing some news about Lev Bell that I'm not really liking, but that's not my important league. So
is he not going to play tomorrow or Sunday or whatever, whenever he plays?
Ask our director of content. I don't know. Maybe it was Levitan who just tweeted something about, or he retweeted something about Lev Bell not showing up.
Yeah, he hasn't been hanging around much Pittsburgh stuff lately.
Well, I thought he signed.
Where's this article?
I just dreamed that.
Okay, that article is behind the paywall. So subscribe to awesemo.com. It's not really necessary if you want to subscribe to Amazon.com right now. I need to get more coffee in me stat.
Yeah, you do. For week 1, I say let's keep it for you. So those, yeah.
All right.
Those niche slates are definitely like there's an edge because people aren't studying those. So if you are studying those, like a lot of those are, and myself included, I'm guilty of this, is I just don't do research. I just look at the slate. I'm on my phone or whatever. I'm tilting my Sunday day lineups and I put in whatever 10 lineups for the mains or for the prime time. So if you are doing your homework on those slates, you could potentially have a huge edge. So that's what EMAC's article will allow you to do.
Two things. That article is now not behind the paywall, so if you're not a member of awesemo.com, go check it out. Two, got to get this win in the chat. You figure out the giveaway rules. Yeah, we talked about it last night, and when I get to the particular team that matters, I will go over it once again.
Copic projection game. Are we going over? Or are we going Price is Right style? Closest without going over?
No, not Price is Right style. I don't feel like this is the best scenario to like limit upside in a guess. So closest regardless of going over. But we'll cover that when we get to Copic.
Isn't that next game?
I don't know. No, we got one more before that.
Okay. What are we doing with Wheeler?
I'm not playing him at all.
God, he's just.
I can't justify it here. Like, there's no matter how good you think he is, to pay 10-4 going against the Dodgers. Like, if you want to have him in like 2 or 3 lines, I think it's fine. But I don't see a ton of upside in this.
Right. I think that's going to be more likely what it's been. I just don't want to have no exposure to a guy that I've been on, and I mean, I've been right about, and like he just looks so good. He just looks like a borderline ace, and they're kind of treating him like that with his pitch count. Like he's getting 110, 113, 97, 100 pitches, going 7 innings. Like he is a horse right now. So even against the Dodgers at an inflated price, I will have some Wheeler. Are you going to be playing bats against him?
I am. Not as much as the public, but I will have some stacks of Dodgers.
Okay.
Have to.
Yeah, I guess. God, I probably should have some stacks just because the Mets bullpen, talk about bad ones.
Yeah, that's what I was going to look at right now.
And just so much power in that Dodgers lineup.
Second worst xFIP on the season.
And I mean, how long did Vargas end up going? Like they could be just taxed. I didn't stay up for that game because there was no reason for me to stay up and see how much money I lost. But
let's find out. Mets bullpen.
Oh yeah, everyone besides Jerry Blevins has pitched in the last 2 days for them.
Yeah, everyone can probably go because nobody's on back-to-backs, but I mean, nobody's set up to like go for a while.
Yeah. So
yeah. Give me the Dodgers bats.
I think with the Dodgers, so this is how I'm going to play the Dodgers. I'm just going to either full stack or I'm probably going to eliminate them from 2-mans. Because I think it's a pretty good chance Wheeler either goes 7 innings once again and they just get shut down by him, or they get to him early, they get him out, and now they're getting 6 innings, 5 innings of that Mets bullpen.
So, I mentioned earlier, Dodgers, they see the most pitches per plate appearance of all teams in baseball. They make guys work.
When you can bet Muncy 7th, like you're just the best team.
I don't know. That makes me think the team's not very good.
I was waiting. Gotta get a better reaction out of you there. The GOAT, Muncy.
Yeah, give me Bellinger, give me Jock. Machado is Machado. I don't think I need to point him out at all. Kike, minimum salary on FanDuel if you really want to get weird.
That would be interesting if, like, it's always interesting to me when Kike is hitting against the righty because he's one that you're really worried about getting pinch hit for, and Muncy too to some extent. But if they're going to hit him against the righty, then he's not coming out for a pinch hitter unless it's an extra inning game or something like that. Fantasy Cruncher, nice for NFL. Yes. Yeah. It is very nice for NFL.
Yeah.
Nice for all sports.
Yeah, very.
If you want to go watch, well, I guess it was us two on the live stream on Monday. Go watch that show in like the last 20 minutes. We talked about the new updates for Fantasy Cruncher. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. They're great. So we could look at it right now. It's all here. What, are you taking a pee at your desk?
Doesn't it sound like that?
It does. You might even be doing it just right into your coffee cup.
Right.
So I'm going to sort all of my crunched lineups by projected ownership. This is my most chalky lineup. Rocky Stack, G-Man Choi, Brandon Lau, Mike Trout. What's my least chalky lineup? Least chalky lineup. Tyon Kopech, 5-man Yankee stack, Jorge Polanco, Brian McCann, Yuli Gurriel. Nobody's coming to me with that one. I'm going to win all the monies.
Very well could.
We can talk
about that. I mean, I'm just thinking about the Millie Maker. Like if you have good ownership projections, and we do have good ownership projections, you can make crazy, unique lineups based on your projections.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really good product. So
really is. All right, moving on. Angels and Rangers. Angels 5.4 run implied total. Rangers 5.1. I actually don't know if that's true. There was not a line on this game when I first started doing this morning. I should probably roll. Huh?
It's out. 10 run total.
Okay, so I'm a little high on it, but I almost nailed it. I had it in for 10.5.
Could get there.
Hey, yeah, look, it wasn't 6. 5.2 for the Angels, 5 for the Rangers, 52% chance to win. It's Jaime Barria going for the Angels and Bartolo Colon going for Texas. No pitching here, right?
No. I don't think it's necessary. No.
All right.
So bats, I mean.
Yeah. And they're chalk. Both teams are chalk. Rockies. Wait, wrong game. Angels tied for the chalkiest stack on DK with the Rockies. They are the chalk stack on FanDuel. Rangers not too far behind. And I want to have parts of both teams. I don't really want to be off of these guys. So.
Yeah. So I prefer the Angels side. I know that's the chalkier side overall, but I really like how they set up against Bartolo. Lots of power here. Trout, Upton, Ohtani, obviously the big names there. But Calhoun off the top, 4,200. These guys are all going to get a healthy dose of fastballs. Jose Miguel Fernandez, if he's in, he's got power.
Yeah.
And then Alvin Arcia for 3,700. I know that's expensive, but he just clubs righties when he's not striking out. And as we know, Bartolo is not a guy that's going to make you swing and miss too often. He's going to do it with deception and just painting corners and getting you to hopefully get weak contact. But if he's not doing it here or really anywhere, he's going to get demolished. So, yeah, love the Angels.
Yeah. No, I love the Angels. I love the Rangers. Too many lefty bats on the Rangers. Lines up perfectly. I just want to have parts of this game. It should be a very offensive contest. What do we got the weather at? 87. So, yeah, the heat wave in Texas appears to be over. We're running out those 100-degree games there for a while, but I just want to have all these guys. I don't have anybody specific that is crazy. It's going to be the most popular game, and I don't see any reason to fade it. Both guys project to have a FIP over 5. Look, I'll get different with the rest of my lines. This isn't the spot to get super weird about it.
Yeah, and I mean the Rangers just make sense because you can get 2 really quality arms in the 9 to 10K range and pretty much stack them up. It looks like it's going to be pretty easy if you include Andrews and or Beltre.
Am I crazy, or do they not have Justin Upton in here?
Who?
Fantasy Cruncher doesn't have Justin Upton
they'll add him.
In the player pool?
Yeah, they'll add him.
Huh?
They'll add him.
It's Justin Upton. It's not some new dude. Half the Angels aren't on there. Ohtani's not there either. That one at least makes sense, but no J Up.
Yeah, they've been busy.
That's true. They have been busy. I was wondering why I was getting no Justin Upton on my crunch. He's literally just not there.
Oh, let's see. Yeah. He's not on there.
Apparently he's hurt day to day, but that is not a reason why you shouldn't be there. But if he's hurt, he's hurt enough to be in the projected lineup. So, there's that. No such thing as day-to-day in baseball.
Look at the chat. What?
Yeah, look, I understand that he's day-to-day. I mean, there are a lot more injured people that are in this. All these guys are legitimately hurt. And they're in here. So, yeah, I'm not super worried about it. Anyway, I love the Angels. Number 1 stack on FanDuel, number 6 on DK. That number will go up when I can actually crunch out Upton and Ohtani. So, grab the Angels, grab the Rangers. They're the chalk, but get different elsewhere. Cubs and Brewers. Cubs, 4.4 run implied total. Brewers, 4.4. It's a 50-50 game, folks. Jose Quintana going for Chicago. Julius Chassin going for Milwaukee. No Chassin for me, but I have a little bit of Quintana. Only at 3,000 or 3% ownership, 7,700 on DraftKings. I got to 9%. All of the lefties don't appear to be in the Brewers lineup, which I think is pretty interesting. I also think that's something to pay attention to in case you want to stack the Brewers. They have a lot of options for getting guys out of there from a pinch hit perspective. So I like Quintana a little bit here. Especially if Tanner Roark is 23% owned and $100 more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not a Quintana guy. I'm not a Roark guy either, but I think Quintana gets pretty lucky with his the quality of contact it gives up, especially to righties. Since July 1st, Milwaukee, 21% K rate against lefties, 169 ISO, 108 WRC plus, top 10 on base percentage. So, I mean, they've improved. Remember when we were talking about Milwaukee kind of towards the beginning of the season, how it didn't make sense that they weren't good against lefties. It kind of turned that around.
Yeah.
Them and other teams like the Red Sox and, I mean, the Dodgers, you saw what they can do against the lefties, but that was more a product of them getting new, better players. But like these guys all hit lefties well. Aguilar, Kane, Yelich, he's fantastic against lefties. Scope. So yeah, I'm on the Brewers here. Just a really high upside team.
No one on the Brewers right now. 2% aggregate. Highest ownership for anyone on DK's side. Ryan Braun, 6%. So if you like the Brewers,
love it.
It's the perfect time to be on them.
I need to cash in my Jose Quintana sucks tickets at some point. So this seems like a really good spot in a homer-friendly park. The roof is going to be closed, it looks like here, because it's going to rain, but that's still fine. It's still homer-friendly here.
Yeah, I like the idea of having Quintana and the Brewers. I know that's stupid, but...
That's not stupid. That's called MME.
Yeah.
But who are you going to be more overweight on? Quintana?
Yeah, for sure. As long as Roark stays where he's at, I would like to have more Quintana.
Yeah, that's fair. And then I
like having some Brewers. There's a sea of righties. I am a little nervous though that they start bringing in all those lefty pinch hitters.
That's true. I mean that is a really fair point. Like the Dodgers do that, and
like for sure, Moose Tacos is going to pinch hit here. Who else am I missing?
Yeah.
Who's the other lefty?
Thames.
Yeah.
I mean, they can't. They're always going to have Yelich in there just because
he's incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would be at least cognizant of the fact that lefties could come in after Quintana's done. Yeah, Shaw too.
Good point.
So just something to keep in mind. You could get pinched there, but on the surface, like I think the Brewers should be more popular than they are.
Yeah, looking at the Cubs, like they used Dunsing, who I think is a lefty, yesterday for 26 pitches. So yeah, they're probably going to see a righty, like even if they knock Quintana out, it's probably a righty coming in, whether it's Chavez or Carl Edwards Jr. or whatever. But yeah, good point, Stroh.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to touch on here?
Cubs. Oh, I like Daniel Murphy a lot.
Sure.
Cubs are expensive.
They are very expensive.
So I don't know that I'll get to them as full stacks, but I just want to say I really, really do like Murphy here. He just looks like closer to what we saw the last 2 years than what we've seen for the first 4 months of the season.
Well, I like Murphy. I like Rizzo. These are guys, they grade out really well. They're just really hard to get to as a stack, so you sort of need to prioritize them, make a decision. If you want to use the Cubs, you kind of have to start there and build out.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Before we get into the Tigers and White Sox, we're going to talk about a little bit of a giveaway. In the comment section of this video, or really any video that you'll listen to in the near future, in the comment section, I would like you to project what Michael Kopech will have as a FanDuel score when all is said and done today. The closest person, whether you go over or not, will win a free month all-access subscription to Awesemo.com. Again, Michael Kopech's FanDuel points. Needed to pick something that was going to be a higher number than the DK number. Give a little bit more range. Michael Kopech's FanDuel points. Put your prediction in the comment section. Closest person gets a free month of all access at Awesemo.com. That covers everything. You're getting the NFL for the first month of the NFL season. What a better time to do this. So check that out. That is what we want you to do. And like and subscribe. That also helps. Appreciate you guys. To the 10th or 100th of a point. That's a good question. I mean, as detailed as you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, you could do.
I mean, the 100th of a point will be. It's not going to go any further than that on FanDuel. You will lose if someone is closer by 0.05. I'm just putting that out there right now.
Yeah, so it's your advantage if you want to.
Your level of precision is up to you.
In the comments.
Comment section, not the chat.
So you got to wait till this video's over, and then you can hit the like button if you want.
Yeah.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Smash.
Like Laffy said. Yeah.
Jordan Zimmerman going for the Tigers. Michael Kopech. You guys are really good at putting that stuff in the chat. Somebody yesterday tweeted it at me like 150.5. I was like, what? I was like, you might not have heard that question correctly. Kopech, 9% expected ownership on DraftKings. I got 27. Why aren't people on Michael Kopech here?
I don't know. Probably because he's failed to get out of the third 2 out of his first 3 starts. Just like Adam tweeted, it was an excellent troll by him. So he's had 2 starts that have been delayed or basically wiped out because of rain. And he looked good at both of those. Against Boston, he was, I mean, it was only a couple innings, but he was on his way to a pretty nice start. He was through 3 innings with 36 pitches. Only had 1 strikeout, but 1 hit and 1 walk. I mean, the Twins game had some trouble with his pitch count, but he had 4 Ks through 2. The 1 start he has had was against Detroit on the road. Didn't really get into trouble until the 6th inning, I believe, and then got out of it. I think it was in a bases loaded jam. This team sets up really well for him to just go in there and get a bunch of strikeouts. So we know Kopech's talent. Just throws a blazing fastball, just crazy movement on his pitches. And the Tigers have been really bad against righties since July 1st, 77 WRC plus 141 ISO, 23.5% K rate. He's just a talented guy, and I'll take him at 10% ownership.
Yeah, I'm going to have way more than that. I'll finish somewhere around 30. That's where I want to be. As long as he stays there, I want to have a ton. I can't understand why he would only be at 9. I expect that number to climb dramatically.
Yeah, he'll climb. But I just love the idea of getting both him and Glass now and just loading up on just elite arm talent in that range. Well, I'm sure people will go to Severino. I haven't even seen his ownership, but
it's not high.
I just much prefer dropping down and going to these guys that I think can match him.
Same. Bats, White Sox, relatively popular. I don't get them at all. which is kind of surprising. But 4.2 run implied total. It's not as if this is supposed to be some like big time offense.
I mean, I like the White Sox. Their total has dropped. It was 4.7 last night.
Yeah,
when I was writing them up.
I have it 4.2 right now. Are you seeing similar?
No, it's 4 point. I'm seeing 4.3.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely dropped, and maybe it's because of the weather. But and we should also mention the weather. It's raining again in Chicago, where there's a chance of rain. So be aware of that with Kopech. I'll be on the live before lock, so I'll tell you what I'm doing with Kopech if you're interested. But yeah, Zimmerman just gives up a ton of hard contact. Not a big strikeout guy, and the White Sox, the one thing they do well is they have power, especially now with Wellington Castillo in. I like Narvaez hitting third if he's going to be there. In fact, Moncada showing some signs of life. Davidson, obviously, huge power. So yeah, I think it's a really good GPP stack that people will be on just because they're super cheap. But yeah, I'm going to be right there with them. I like the White Sox quite a bit.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to be there at all. 7% aggregate ownership. That's the fourth highest ownership on DK. This is a full fade for me.
Full fade?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Not even some Daniel Palka?
1% Palka.
Nicky Delmonico?
3% Delmonico.
All right.
Yeah, I don't need it. Like I don't need these cheap bats with a 4.2 run implied total. I mean, could they go off? Sure, any team can go off, but I don't want to be with the field here.
All right.
It's just I don't see it. What's the weather like? It's 75 degrees. Yeah, I don't. No, thank you on the White Sox. It wasn't there yesterday either. Just team Michael Kopech. I don't want any Tigers bats either. If Kopech gains some steam, maybe I would go to that opposite side. But for now, the only thing that I want here is Kopech.
Okay.
Again, just in case anyone didn't hear it, in the comment section of this video, of any of the live stream videos, or the live stream tonight, wherever you can get into it, we'll be plugging it in all of the shows. Closest to Michael Kopech's FanDuel score will receive a free month of all access subscription at awesemo.com. Twins and Astros. Twins 3.5 run implied total. Astros 5. 65% chance to win for the Stros. Jake Odorizzi going for the Jakes. Framber Valdez going for the Astros. Tell me, Jake, where do you land on Framber Valdez?
I'm not impressed with what I've seen from him. Just worried about his ability to miss bats. And he's going to get a lot of righties. So I'm not crazy about Valdez here, 18%. I guess I'm just not crazy about this range, really, with Quintana and Roark and Valdez. I think people are just going here just out of necessity, not because these guys are good plays. And like there aren't a ton of Twins bats I want to target against Valdez, so that's kind of my issue. But I don't mind Polanco or Tyler Austin here as leverage bats. And that's about all I have for Valdez. Are you on him?
I am. Right now I'm with the field. I actually have a decent amount of them on FanDuel as well. I don't necessarily like the idea of being with the field, though. There's just no one else around, so I think he's going to be some sort of necessary chalk. I'm not going to go to Jordan Zimmerman or Fires, and I don't want Andrew Suarez or Odorizzi. That's everybody that's right around him. So I think Valdez is just going to end up being in my lineups because of the way that salary is structured today.
Right, and that's why I don't want to play a guy like that. I just think, so who's going to be the chalk lineup construction? It's going to be Roark, Valdez, and who's the other guy?
Mike Leake, Roark, Pivetta, Ryu, Severino are the 5 guys that are pretty highly owned. So Severino, Mike Leake is probably a really popular combo.
But yeah, you're going to get a similar construction if you go like Valdez and Pivetta, right? Or maybe not Pivetta, like Valdez and Glasnow or someone like that, because you're spending about the same salary for pitching.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we're playing tournaments here. I'm trying to get different lineup constructions. So, you know, if Valdez ends up in some of my lineups, I'm not going to like X him out because there aren't a ton of pitchers I'm crazy about, but I don't want him at 18%. I'm not going to be near that on TK.
No, I get that. I just don't really know where else I would spend that money, but I'm going to dig into him a little bit further. And it's more than anything, it's a play against the Twins. They've just been bad against lefties all year. I don't see any reason they're going to recover from that right now. So, what do you think of Astros bats against fellow Jake Odorizzi?
Yeah, Odorizzi, home run problems against both sides. Kind of turned around those reverse splits a little bit this year, oddly enough. But still, tons of quality contact to righties, 23% line drive rate. I mean, really scary matchup for him. Twins are another bullpen that I'm looking to target, and the Astros are fully healthy, as we've talked about every day for the last week. So I don't think I can get to Odorizzi. I do really like those top 5 for Houston.
Springer, Altuve, Bregman, Correa. These are guys that I'm going to be looking at. I'm slightly over the field on the Astros. Number 7 stack on FanDuel. Number 5 on DK. 5-run implied total. I see no reason to not at least have a solid amount of Astros here.
Bregman feels like he's going to get a hit every time he plays. Like he's on some sort of tear right now. He's just a stud.
He really is. Big Bregman fan. Dual eligibility even better.
Yeah.
Anything else of interest here? Brian McCann, 2,100 on FanDuel if you need to get really cheap for an Astros stack.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, McCann's fine on DK.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all good for this one.
Yeah, you and me both. Giants and Rockies. Giants, 4.8 run implied total. Rockies, 5.7. 59% chance to win for the Rockies. Andrew Suarez going for San Francisco. Antonio Senzatella going for Colorado. I have a couple shares of Senzatella, as does the public. 6% expected ownership. I have 5. I mean, what we're looking for here in this game would be bats. Rockies, chalk stack on DraftKings. Relatively chalky on FanDuel. They are my number 2 stack on both sites. And then the Giants, number 5 stack for me on FanDuel, number 4 on DK. I am just under double the field on both sides. What's your favorite part of this game?
Oh, it's Rockies bats. They're not considering price. They're my favorite stack on the night, and ownership for that matter. But Suarez, he really benefits from pitching at home and getting literally the worst park shift you could get from AT to Coors. He already gives up a ton of hard hits to righties, but just looking at a few numbers, at home this year, 266 on base percentage, 277 WOBA, K rate almost at 22%. On the road, 366 on base percentage, 368 WOBA, and 19.3% K rate.
Yeah.
And then the Rockies just crush at home against lefties. You see why with Story, Arenado, Desmond, Iannetta, Blackman can hit lefties. I mean, there's just no one I really want to avoid. Cargo is waking up as well.
Hitting 7th, though, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have him hit down in the order.
True.
Lefty at least. But, yeah, I mean, hard to say anything bad about this Rocky stack. I absolutely love them. We'll be trying to force them in a ton of my lineups tonight. And what's their aggregate ownership, you said?
Rockies?
Yeah.
11%. They are tied for the chalkiest stack on DraftKings with the Angels.
I prefer them over the Angels. So I'll say that by pretty good margin. even though those are probably my top 2 stacks.
Yep. I agree. It's hard not to like the Rockies. They look good pretty much across the board. I'll have that entire lineup. And I'll have a bunch of Giants as well. Not there for the Giants? You don't like it as much?
No, I mean, I like them. I just don't like their hitters. I like the fact that they're in Coors and there's no one above 4,700. And I really like the spot for Brandon Belt. It is kind of tough to avoid anyone in Coors when you start off $3,300 with a platoon split, $3,700 with a platoon split. And I know Blanco and Joe Panic aren't great hitters, but they're just so cheap and in a really good scenario here.
Yeah. Yeah, I will definitely have some Giants. It's a decent spot. And not getting a ton of ownership, which is kind of weird because it's not as if Senzatella is some lights out guy.
Yeah. I honestly don't know anything about this Chris Shaw guy. Assuming he's a call-up. I haven't heard his name. Cool weather. Is it cool? Yeah, 67. I mean, it's not in the 40s, so.
Yeah.
And it's Coors. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to see these 100-degree games anymore. We're in September here.
Yeah, that's true. This whole summer went pretty quick.
Target Field, you'll see games in the low 50s, maybe even 40s by the end of September, where the Twins are calling up their single A guys.
I'm really excited to talk about this next game because I think I'm crazy a little bit. Yankees and A's.
Okay.
Yankees 4.2 run implied total. A's 3.3. It's a 60% chance to win for the Yanks. Luis Severino going for New York. Mike Fiers going for Oakland. Severino projected 16% ownership on DraftKings. I'm right there with the field. I'm actually significantly under the field on FanDuel as of right now. Are you going up to Severino or Fiers? Are you going up to Severino or are you going to play Fiers at all?
I'm going to play some Fiers. I like that ownership. I think he's the guy I prefer best in the 7 to 8K range, and he's the lowest owned. So we'll have a bunch of Fiers. He pitches so much better at home, getting a lot of righties. And last night I didn't know that it was going to be necessary to get to him, but looking at how the ownership is shaping out, I'm not excited to play Fiers, but I think he is so as safe as you can be against the Yankees in this park. So talk about good pitching weather here. 62 degrees, already a big park, good pitcher's park. I mean, yeah. What are you on for Fiers?
I have no Fiers.
Severino?
Yankees, number 1 stack on DraftKings.
All right, so you do not agree that Fiers is safe?
Safe? No, I don't agree that he is safe. That would be a hard sell for me. Yankees are so cheap. Gardner, 4,000. Stanton, under 5K. McCutchen, 3,900. Hicks, 4,400. You can sort of take your pick on whatever outfielders you want. Gary Sanchez back, 3,500. Underpriced, in my opinion. Andahar, only 4,200. I like Neil Walker quite a bit with the dual eligibility, only 3,300. It's not the best park in the world, but no one's touching the Yankees today. 4% aggregate ownership. I'm significantly over the field there. I'm going to bet on the Yankees' talent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's fine. The A's just have a good bullpen. Last 30 days, 117 whip, under 4 xFIP, 26% K rate almost. I'm trying to think if they're well rested or not, but either way, both these teams really good bullpens, and it's not going to be easy even if either team gets to the starter.
This is a wild card preview game.
Yeah.
97.6% chance the Yankees get a wild card spot. 91.6 that the A's do. These two teams are, by all accounts, essentially guaranteed to be the wild card unless the Mariners go bonkers and catch the A's or the Astros fall off, something crazy. Yeah, this is a preview game, but I'm gonna bet on the Yankees today at low ownership. There's too much actual talent in that lineup for me to not go to them.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, low-owned Yankees just bat in a vacuum. Okay, when they have Sanchez and now McCutchen, looks a lot better than it did even a week ago. So, again, I think Hicks is my favorite play here, 4,400 against fly ball Mike Fiers, but he gets away with those fly balls in Oakland.
Sure. I want to take a look at Fiers quickly, just so I can get a better idea of where he's been at all season.
So don't look at all season. Look since he came over to Oakland.
Yeah,
So
what I meant more was just like, what has he been doing just in general?
Yeah.
Has been missing. What? Why would he be striking out? So he can just be more aggressive?
I mean, yeah, it could be that. It's just such a good pitching environment in Oakland. Like, so look at the chase rate once he went to Oakland. I know it's been 5 starts. You can't make up your mind on 5 starts, but he had 1 start at Minnesota, and then that bad one in Seattle or against Seattle. But I guess I can forgive that a little bit. Missing way more bats, getting more chases. I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying. Why? Like,
the park makes a big difference. That park is good for strikeouts. It's cooler. The hard contact's not going to go as far.
Strikeout park factor last year for the A's, 98. Nobody really gets kind of crazy. So, where was he before? Seattle?
He was in Detroit.
Or yeah, Detroit.
That's just a worse pitcher's park. I mean, Oakland's one of the best. Detroit is neutral to even leaning towards hitters, if I remember correctly, right?
A's runs park factor was pretty high, actually. It was a hitter's park last year, oddly enough. Similar for the Tigers. I don't think that Fiers is suddenly some new guy that, like, has a K rate that isn't right. He's struck out 28% of the guys he's faced so far with a walk rate of 2.8. That's unsustainable for Mike Fiers. I'm sorry. He's not going to continue to walk no one.
Maybe this is a guy you could ask. Is it Laffy you're on the show with today?
It'll be Adam again today. They flip-flop their Mondays and Tuesdays for just this week.
Okay. Yeah. You should ask Adam.
Yeah, maybe that'll be something we'll dig into. I'm not a big Mike Fiers believer here.
Okay. I mean, I don't think Fiers is lighting the world on fire here, but world on fire. Didn't even mean to do that. But I just think he can be solid enough, and he's the lowest owned guy in this tier, and he has been a lot better since coming over to Oakland.
Yeah. Anything else you like in this game? I assume we're not going to any A's bats.
No, I don't think you need to do that. I'm kind of off of Severino. I just don't know that he's necessary here.
Yeah, I could see me ending up with significantly less Severino as the day goes on.
I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating Kopech and Glass now a little bit. Maybe overrating their upside. I think Severino probably has the highest upside if he can regain his form here. But Oakland's just been so good against righties for the past 2 months. Under 21% K rate, 115 WRC plus, 207 ISO. Those are all top 3 numbers. I guess the ISO and WRC plus are. They're getting on base. They're just not an easy target. And I remember even earlier this season, I was targeting against Oakland all the time for strikeouts. And that has not been the case lately.
Yeah. Yeah, ultimately, I think I'll end up with a little bit less Severino just because of his price point.
Yeah.
Final game of the day, Orioles and Mariners. Orioles, 3.2 run implied total. Mariners, 4.8. It's a 67% chance to win for the Mariners. Andrew Kashner going for Baltimore. Mike Leake going for Seattle. Do you want to ride the Mike Leake chalk train? 38% expected ownership, highest of the entire slate. Mike Leake is the chalk. A lot of that has to do with the fact that Baltimore is bad. You eating that Mike Leake chalk?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to eat some of it. I wrote him up in Spotlight Pitchers. So the way I put it was he's $6,200 minus 220 home favorite in a good park against a bad team that has a lot of righties. So just that. He's in play, obviously. The one thing he does well is get chases, and Baltimore, as we know, is an undisciplined team. Even though they're hitting for more power lately, they're still striking out 22.6% of the time. Since the start of August, a 75 WRC plus on the road. I mean, they definitely get a boost in their home park, and this is a bad park shift for them. So, yeah, I'm on Leak. 38% makes me nervous, especially after eating the Giolito chalk yesterday. But, man, I mean, who else are you going to play in this range? I guess is how I put it.
Fucking nobody? I don't know.
Berea, I prefer Leak. Sanchez, I think I prefer Leak. At least Leak can go pretty deep in games, whereas we haven't really seen that from Sanchez lately.
I'd love to see if I put Mike Leake at, take him out of my player pool, what my construction looks like. Because I'm not in any way comfortable with being with the field on 38% Mike Leake. This is a guy that does not miss bats.
I know, but he does induce soft contact, and he has a good chase rate this year.
So if we're using Leak, who are we using Leak to go to? Who's his natural pairing? I know we were talking about that before. Is it
Severino? Probably. I think that's what Severino or maybe Glasnow, Kopech, those kind of guys. Or
I mean, it's not Glasnow. He's just not owned. So it's got to be Ryu or Severino. Glasnow's at 4% on DK, so they're not linked together like that. I mean, I like that pairing if you're going to do it.
I mean, maybe they'll go to Roark and Leak and just stack up Coors and the Angels or something, or Coors and the Rangers.
I think it's Pavetta Leak.
Oh, I forgot about Pavetta. Yeah,
Pavetta Leak and let's run this as a test.
I mean, we're done, right, with all these games, so we can. You have any? Seattle bats?
I'll have some Mariners bats because, of course.
Cano Cruz for me. Really like those two.
Yeah.
And Haniger. I always forget him because he's leading off now. But
I'm gonna pull Leak and see what the exposures look like.
Here, you want to share your screen quick?
I do. Because I think this will be an interesting exercise to see where you could go if he's not a part of it. Because I don't think I want him to be a part of it. How does not having Mike Leake kill you?
I was just going to bring that up.
He is not going for 28 today. Right?
So
that's just not happening.
Yeah. So a successful start for Leake would be, I think 6 or 7 innings and 3 or 4 strikeouts.
What's his best start of the year? I think that'll be an easy way to. So he had 28 at 29. Oakland 2 weeks ago.
29 at Boston in late June.
4,400 price tag on that day too.
That's absurd. Yes, you're looking for him to go deep here.
He's been over 14 fantasy points, over 15 fantasy points once since July 1st.
He's got a little bit more of a spike than I anticipated. I thought we'd see games. I thought we'd see a lot of 16s and 18s, and you're seeing 23, 24, 29, 28 you mentioned.
It was all in May and June. Outside of this Oakland start, none of the starts that he's had since July 1st, outside of that Oakland start, are a problem. In fact, if you told me that he got 11, 12, 13, 10, 11, I don't want to be near him for 38% ownership. Right.
If he's 6% ownership and you get one of those numbers, you're fine with it.
Yeah.
But you could see Zimmerman strike out a bunch of White Sox. You could see Sanchez put it together and get you 20 here. So I see what you're saying there. I don't like, or Alcantara, whoever your guy is in this range. So you make a good point. I don't know that he's going to kill you if you fade him.
I don't even see how he could. If he's going to put up a 28-point day, then kudos, hat tip. I'm not going to be there for it.
That would be too good.
So I get a lot of Valdez if I pull Leak. But everything else is just at the top. A little bit more Senzatella. I think that's probably the natural spot. But I'd rather just have like 2 lines of all of the garbage down here than have 38% Mike Leak.
Yeah, I mean,
like I'll even grab the lines and really take a look at it compared to our ownership. I have that shit. I don't even have to do that. So if we pull Leak, who is the expected chalk, let's sort it by salary. So I still don't get to Odorizzi. I don't get to Suarez. Valdez is the guy that I end up on. Senzatella, Sanchez, but like you can just have more of these top guys and go to more efficient hitting stacks. And I think that's a better play than having 38% Leak to fit in what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to play him if that stays where it's at.
Like in low stakes, you think he'll be 38? You think he'll get to 30?
I mean, even if he's 25,
yeah,
what's the point? All right, so I pulled him out. Let's see how this shakes out. Yeah, so like it just makes your average pitcher price go up. I still have a ton of all of the stacks that we like. Name your favorite stacks again.
Colorado, Angels, Rangers, Astros.
Colorado, Rangers, Astros, Angels. Still with the field on the Rockies. I'm still with the field on the Rangers. I'm 50% higher than the field on the Astros. I have exposure to the Angels, but not as much as the field. And I'm sort of okay with that. I mean, I don't want to just totally be with every chalk team today. But there's still 4 of my top 7. And then I just get away from the Mike Leak lineup. Like, is this crazy? I think that he should just be 0 if you want to go into a tournament.
Yeah, that's... God. I don't think that's a crazy stand.
Okay.
So I'll say that. I don't think that I'll be there as far as having 0 Mike Leak. But he is even chalkier than I expected to see this morning.
And just from my pitching perspective then, I still have 15% Severino. We'll ignore the merits of that, but like you're not mad about that. 21% Glass now. I know you're good with that, if not more.
More, yeah.
Ryu at 25%. I don't mind being with the field there. It might not be the best spot. 30% Kopech, 26% Pivetta. If I'm going to be chalky at pitcher, I don't want it to be Leak. I'll happily let it be Pivetta or Ryu. These guys that actually have upside.
Yeah.
I'm talking myself into this. Fade Mike Leak. FadeMikeLeak.com.
All right. Should be fun.
Yeah, man, when he drops that like 30 burger today, I'm going to have to go hide in a hole. No live stream for me, so I'm not even going to be around for people to give me shit when I say it again tonight.
Yeah.
How much Leak do you think you end up with if you had to put your lines in now?
I mean, God, it just depends. Like, it just depends how much Kopech and Glasnow I can jam in. So I'd say more like 25, 30.
Okay.
I think he is pretty safe, but I agree. I think he does lack some upside where I think the more likely scenarios he gets 12 to 16 DK points and he just kind of is okay.
I have him projected for 16.
Wow.
15.9.
Okay. Jeez, that's more than I expected.
Yeah. And if he gets 15.9 and I don't have that 38%, I'm totally fine with it. Because I don't have to pay, like, it's not like I have to use him to pay up to $13,000 Justin Verlander today.
True.
I don't know. That's where I'm at. Guys, in the comments section, after this video ends, head to it. Michael Kopech's FanDuel points tonight. Closest person to his FanDuel points total gets a free month at awesemo.com. Check out NFL content. Emacs article is out. Chris will have an article out tomorrow, similar to what he was doing for the Switch and Hedge for basketball season. We have rankings and projections and ownership projections. We'll have more baseball content. Process show today, again, myself and Adam. The deeper dive tonight from probably 4:45 to 6. Jake and Chris tonight on the live stream up until lock. Here we go, everybody. Emacs article, no longer behind the paywall. Check that out. Golf content from Andrew's projections, Andrew and Ben's shows. They'll have a live stream tonight breaking down the pre-lock. I don't know, probably around 9 o'clock. So
they also have From A to B.
Yep, From A to B, 2:30 this afternoon.
Tons of content.
Cranking it out. Cranking it out. Jake, you have anything else you want to plug? Spotlight hitters, pitchers, stacks.
Hitters, pitchers, stacks. No, man, this is just an exciting time for DFS, just for sports. If you like betting or whatever, it's just, this is the best time of year. You got hockey and basketball right around the corner. Fantasy Cruncher just added new updates. Like, it's just hopefully a lot of money going into our pockets, and the viewers as well. Are you both covering football this season?
Yes. Well, I am. Jake
so
can cover as much football as he would like.
I'm not covering football. I will be playing though, and I'll be in the chat.
Jake's gearing up for hockey season.
Yeah.
So if you're a hockey head, get ready, because Jake is going to be the key person creating all NHL content this year.
We got some really good guys coming over from FanDuel too.
There you go.
Really solid players.
Yeah, we have everything everybody wanted now, or at least we're getting there. Michael Kopech's FanDuel points for tonight in the comments section here or in the live stream tonight. I will aggregate them all. Closest to the number, and you can go over, will win a free month. Best of luck, everybody. We will talk to you again later.